This video is about making an Animal O map using Purple Pen. So I'm going to open up Purple Pen and I'm going to create a new event. I'm going to name it Animal O Courses and now choose the map file. I have the Google Drive for navigation games mapped to my file system. So I'm going to go in there to shared drives, maps, USA, Massachusetts, Cambridge Common, the navigation games version, and we select the OCAD map. So that's the map selected. And the next thing that we have to do is the map scale. I'm assuming that we'll just use the existing map scale. And then we want to use letter, and I happen to know that this is in portrait format. And then we're going to choose a different place to store the Purple Pen files and the exported PDFs. And so we want to do this correctly, even though it's a little bit annoying to go through because we want it in the right place. And generally, we store course files side by side with the maps files. And so I'll go to Cambridge Common now, and then the navigation games version, and we want to put it in courses. So I select courses, but I want to make a new folder for it. 2024, let's see, Animal O. And that's selected, so I say okay. Then we go on to next, and we're using the most updated descriptions and the Sprint map standard. And we'll accept the default starting code at 31. And now we have set up our Purple Pen file. The first thing that we want to do is to set the print area to be correct. So we just kind of center it over the map. And then we can go ahead and design the courses. We are going to put the numbers 31 through 40 roughly in a circle around the space. And we can go either counterclockwise or clockwise. So I'll just add the start, which I'll put kind of in the center of the map here, and I put the finish in the exact same location. And now I'm going to put 31 through 40 around the perimeter of the map. So I will do add control, and notice that there's a shortcut of Control A for adding a new control. So this will be 31. And I'm just going to do Control A to add another one. Control A. 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 Okay, so now we have the controls roughly in a circle, ordered 31 through 40. Now we need to add the courses. To do that, we are going to first look up the course orders, and that is in the program-related new clue sheets for Animal O, Geometric O, etc. spreadsheet under the pivot courses. So for example, B is 35, 37, 38, 40, 33. I'm just going to remember the sequence of the last digits, 57803 for B. So I'll make a new course, call it B. Okay, and now I want to add 57803, 57803. What's another one? Blue Jay, 64187. 64187. 6, 4, 1, 8, 7. Another one is the crab. And the crab is 91257. 91257. And then we can double check 39, 31, 32, 35, 37. Double check that. Looks good. And we continue doing that for all of the courses. After I have all the courses made, I take a look and see if they look reasonable in terms of not crossing over too much and having some interesting legs. In this particular case, there's a playground which is out of bounds. And so if we have checkpoints that are on opposite sides of the playground, that is, it means that they have to do some route choice. So we might consider moving this control here to this bench because then they have to decide whether they're going right or left to do that particular leg. But it might also depend on what the other courses, how the other courses use that control. So I'm going to pause the video while I create all of the rest of the courses and then come back to you. Okay, so now I have put in all of my courses. I've got 10 courses: bee, blue jay, crab, dog, elephant, lion. Those 6 are 5 checkpoint courses, and then frog, octopus, penguin, and sheep are the 10 checkpoint courses. And these correspond exactly to the order of the animals in our new Animal O kit. Now, we don't always need to use the 10 animal courses. It depends on what your goal is. And so, for example, the frog, the sheep actually looks pretty good. It's easy to see. It doesn't cross over itself too much. So I might use the sheep, but maybe not the other ones, penguin, octopus, and frog. And when I'm not going to use a course that I designed, I usually will edit its properties and change its name to be like X and then the name of the course. And that just reminds me when I'm making the PDFs that I don't want to make those ones properties. So I'll put an X in front of each of the 3 and we'll only keep the sheep as the 110 animal course. 110 checkpoint course. Then we might think about how far do we really want people to be traveling? Do we really want them to go on the other side of this playground area, for example? That's kind of cool because it introduces some route choice, but on the other hand, it has children running far off in the distance where we can't see them so clearly. So I might actually move some of these checkpoints in closer and see how that plays out. So maybe I'll have 37 go here and bring 38 into here and then see how that looks in the different courses. It looks a little awkward for a blue jay, but the other ones are still okay. And the sheep is fine. So blue jay, maybe we could try moving this one over here. Move control in all. Wait, let's not move it and look at where all controls are. Oh yeah, we already have one there. Maybe, or what was the problem with the blue jay? All controls, blue jay. Okay, I decided to move the controls around a little bit. So the blue jay looks, of course, looks a little easier to see, and everything else looks all right. Now I want to change the appearance of these lines and circles so that they're easier to see. So I'm going to go to Event, customize the event, and then instead of using, first of all, I'm going to use bold for the numbers, and instead of using the standard sizes, I'm going to increase the line width a bit. I'm going to have the white outline around numbers at 0.2 and see how that looks. I think that looks pretty good. I might increase the size of the control circle a little bit as well. And we could consider increasing the size of the numbers as well to 5. Okay, so that looks pretty good and easy to read. Now you go through each course and you move the numbers by clicking on them and moving them until they are visible and not overlapping with too much other stuff in the map. So you do that for every single control, every single checkpoint. And while I'm at it, I'm going to adjust the precise location of some of these so that they are centered on the feature. Great. 3, 1, crab. This 5 I can move into just the yellow space and so on. So you get the idea. So now we're making it easier to read. Could even move this all the way out to here, and the 3 as well. Another thing that I do is I'll add in the text corresponding to the course name. Say OK, and then we can put that at the top. And if we want to, we can also add control descriptions, which could come along here. But that's not so useful when we haven't said what the controls are actually on. So for example, if we do that, 38 is on a bench, which is a man-made feature. 31 is on a tree. So we've got a tree symbol somewhere here, right here. 32, a lot of these are just on trees. Obviously you want to do this after you've finalized where all of your checkpoints are going to be. It might be nice to use a fence to just have a different feature that it's on for one of these. So maybe I'll move this over to the edge of the fence, but maybe not because that's too close to the end of the, I think this is fine. Anyway, so once you put in all of these control descriptions, if you're going to use the descriptions, then it will change it so that if you put in the descriptions, it'll tell you what the feature is. And you can do that either with the symbology, or you can ask it to show the text. And it would say, okay, special item. And for special item, properties, I don't know if there's a way to change that to something else, but often we don't have the descriptions on the map because we want people to be able to read the map carefully to know where they're going. So that's a decision that you can make. And then make sure you save your work, and then you can create PDFs of the courses. And we don't want to make the PDFs of the X courses, and we do want all controls. So we can create those. And then they show up in the folder where the Purple Pen file is. And that's what I have to say. Enjoy.